The Super Mario Galaxy movie is now out in theaters. This is a highly anticipated and very well done movie, but I noticed a couple things with it, and so I wanted to get on and tell parents what I saw and then allow you to make the decision on whether you're going to take your kids to see it or not. First off, yeah, the movie's really well done. Okay, the trailers are awesome, and that's because the movie's awesome. It is also funny, and I suspect really well made for 3D. I'm not a 3D person. I didn't see it in 3D, but based on how they did some of the scenes and stuff, I think they probably made the whole movie with 3D in mind. So there's probably a lot of people who are going to want to watch it in 3D. That said, yeah, it's fun. It's funny. They go into crazy locations, see all sorts of crazy characters. They have a lot of characters from the Nintendo games, whether they're background characters or, just showing up here or there, or a couple of them have a little longer scenes, okay? It's cool. They did a great job physically with the art and the art style, the art of making a movie. So, the negatives. First off, if you're a Christian who does not watch movies with magic in it because of the connection to the demonic, this movie's obviously not for you, okay? You watch a trailer, it's very obviously magic. Rosalina, the new princess, she's in the blue dress. She just kind of like does this, and the magic wand comes out, and she does all sorts of stuff with the magic wand. Her and Princess Peach are said to be made of stardust. Whenever the two come together, they have the power to create the cosmos or something like that. All the power of the cosmos. It's something like that. Power and cosmos. Okay. In fact, they're trying to drain Rosalina's power so that they can destroy the universe. There's a lot of magic. Okay. And it's beyond this happy video game, fairy tale, inventive kind of stuff. It's, magic wand, straight up magic, that kind of stuff. So we don't like that because it normalizes it to kids, normalizes them to witchcraft and the demonic and that kind of stuff. So additionally, they have, back on Rosalina, I found it interesting. There was like some comparisons to God too, because they said that whenever her and Peach get together, then it's basically they have the power to create life, okay, which is really interesting. And then Rosalina has this godlike nature to her where she sits out in space and overlooks the universe and kind of keeps tabs on it and stuff. So that's kind of concerning. All right. Also, Bowser mentions it's in the trailer, one of the trailers, but basically something like, he throws a fit and he's like, "Oh, I'm still wrestling with my demons," or whatever. And they also have these little, how Mexico does the Day of the Dead? So they have these little guys but they're like a skull face, and they're in sombreros and I think it's ponchos, and that was just kind of weird. They were like the first characters other than like Mario and Luigi that you meet, so that was kind of weird. So now, as far as scary goes, there were several times where I'd say, don't take your 3-year-old to see this, okay? When they find Yoshi and stuff, there is a little bit of a build-up like, oh, it's kind of scary. Luigi's kind of scared. And the scene kind of drags on, and Yoshi's making these noises, and you don't know it's Yoshi because he's stuck down a pipe and those kind of things, right? But there are other times where I'd say you don't want to have your 6-year-old there. So Bowser ends up falling in the lava, and everybody thinks he dies, but he turns into one of these, he's like skeleton Bowser, okay? In fact, he calls himself, he says like, "I am Skull King, Lord of the Bones." It's something to that effect. And so in the first movie, they had, I think the bad guys, the turtle guys, they're bad guys. I think they're called Koopas. They had like skeleton Koopas, okay? And that's basically what happened to Bowser. But in that time, Bowser is now like, he's like focused on killing, okay? It's not funny Jack Black, Bowser, the whole first half of the movie, or 3/4 of the movie. This is now like, I want to kill Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi, Bowser, okay? And he's got fire in his eyes, and like, it's evil, guys, okay? And it'd be scary to 6-year-olds and under. Additionally, along with him, while he's still on the screen trying to kill him, Bowser Jr., who has a magical paintbrush, again, back to magic, okay? He draws his little creation on the ground, gives it a little flick with the paintbrush, and up comes this scary dragon. Now look, this is not like adult horror movie dragon, okay? This is, but it's scary to 6-year-olds and under dragon, okay? This is not cutesy dragon, right? And it's trying to get Mario and Luigi, and it eats Bowser Jr. too, okay? It was kind of a bit of a scene, like it eats Bowser Jr. And it's on at the same time as Big Bowser, Bones Bowser, scary Bones Bowser with fire in his eyes, right? So it's kind of scary. I wouldn't take 6-year-olds and under to see this. Oh, one other thing in the credits. So you know how they'll play some credits and then they'll play a clip, right? So the clip that they show, and it might have even been spoilered or part of it spoilered, is this blue star is acting as like, I don't know, a warden or a jailer or something, right? And it's talking to Bowser and Bowser Jr. who are in jail. And, but it's saying like death this and death that. And like, it's creepy, okay? And at the same time, Bowser and Bowser Jr. going, I'm getting scared, stop talking, you know, that kind of stuff. And it's stuff like that, where the characters on screen are also scared too, that can really bring in fear for little guys, okay, for our little kiddos. So, yeah, definitely no 3-year-olds, but I wouldn't even take a 6-year-old to see this because of the scariness. So that's some obvious stuff in the movie. What was not obvious going into the movie was that they were going to have a casino. Okay, I do not like gambling in children's movies. It desensitizes them to that. It kind of gives the impression that it's okay, and it is not okay for children to gamble. In fact, we as adults shouldn't be gambling, okay? But it's not okay for kids to be gambling. And this entire amazingly awesome fight scene takes place inside a casino. And I was just like, what? No, surely this, oh yeah, it's a casino. So Peach walks into basically this cube, okay? The inside of like a big cube. And each face of the cube, the sides and the ceiling and the floor, basically, think of it like this. They got their own little gravity right there. So at one point in time, she's like on the floor and she looks up at the ceiling and there's bad guys up there and she needs to fight them, of course, because it's a big fight scene. And she just jumps at it. And as she gets like past the halfway point, then the camera flips and then she like goes to what was the floor is now behaving like a ceiling. She's got gravity and everything. She pulls out her parachute so that, you know, she gently lands. I'm sorry, not parachute, her umbrella, which she fights with. That is the most durable umbrella I've ever seen. So she fights with this umbrella, but she uses it to slow herself down as she goes to the floor. So it's really cool that there's this cube and she can jump from face to face, or you know, whenever they get to the corner and they step, then the camera rotates and then now that's like the floor, right? And so it's really cool, except it's inside a casino. She has this really cool fight sequence on a roulette wheel, okay? She's spinning around in circles and getting all the bad guys and all that sort of stuff, right? It's super cool, but it's a roulette wheel, okay? And in fact, at the end, one of the bad guys falls on the board and one of the other characters like, oh, yeah, I win, and collects his money and stuff. It's like, oh, come on. When she first walks in there, there's a lot of slot machines. Throughout the battle, you know how Mario, they got upgrades and, you know, mushroom power and whatever. There's new ones of those in this movie too, by the way. They're neat. One of those comes out through a slot machine. Okay, and another time it's like extra bad guy mode comes out through a slot machine. Okay, you know, it doot 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 doot, and all three things line up, and you know it's like jackpot noises and stuff. Yeah, it's a casino, and at one point in time, I believe I saw him playing poker too in there. So it's just disappointing that that is in a kids movie, and you know, the Goat movie also had gambling. And I don't know. I don't know why they're putting it in there. It's bad. Okay, don't put gambling in kids' movies. Another thing to mention is the movie is fairly fast-paced. There is a lot of go, go, go the entire time. Now, like, they have a whole galaxy to cover, okay? They travel a lot. There's a lot to do. They crammed so much into this movie. It's so cool. But it is one of those movies that at the end, you're just kind of like, oh, it's over. And, you know, if we can feel that as adults, the kids even more so are going to feel that even more so. Now, It's not as bad as Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, which I reviewed. Boy, was that last summer? Anyway, there's a review on the channel. You can go check that out. It's not near as bad as that. This is more like Bad Guys 2. So it can lead to some of the intensity from previous scenes kind of like chaining, and they're not being let down on that a little bit. I don't know if it'd be what that would be, adrenaline or whatever would dip, but anyway, it can kind of lead to this like feeling, and especially then if it just keeps going until the end of the movie. Obviously their biggest fight scenes and everything else are at the end of the movie. So yeah, at the end of the movie I felt a little bit like, oh, okay. And I know if I felt that way as an adult, that kind of gonna feel that as a kid. So other than that stuff, the movie is really well made, okay? If you like Nintendo, you're gonna like seeing all the other characters, okay? Yoshi is super cool. He's Tarzan swinging with his tongue. He's making people into eggs. He's being silly, eating things all over. Like, it's hilarious, okay? Mario and Luigi are turned into babies at one point in time. They go play with the sleeping T-Rex and then run away from an awake T-Rex, and like, it's just fun and funny, and it's unfortunate that they have some of these little things in there. And then obviously, you know, if if you don't do magic, then it's completely out, right? So it's unfortunate that it kind of is that way, that there are still some things I say, like, as cool as it is, as well made as it is, you might not want to take your kids to see it, right? But that's how it is. So I wanted to get on here and tell parents about it, because most people are probably going to focus on how awesome and how well made it is, and it is awesomely well made, okay? But you need to have all the information to make a good and accurate decision for your children. And hey, look, if you're not sure, just wait. This is Mario, okay? It will be out on DVD and streaming somewhere, and you'll be able to buy it for streaming from Amazon within the next year or whatever. It's okay to wait. Then you can get a hold of it then, and then you as an adult can watch it and then see if it's okay for your kids, okay? See it personally yourself. That's fine too, okay? You're not gonna miss out. It's not gonna gonna be your only chance to see it or something, all right? And the other thing is, wait for more reviews too if you want. My theater had probably 4 times as many showings as any other movie and that I've seen, and I've been reviewing these movies in the theater for over a year now. So it's likely that Mario will be in your theater for a long time, so you don't have to rush it, all right? If you have some reservations, just wait and see, okay? One last thing to mention with the movie, and that is Bowser and his character development. So oftentimes in a movie, we will see a character that is bad or bad tendencies or something, right? And by the end of the movie, they change their ways and they become good. The Bad Guys, the original Bad Guys movie is a good example of that, right? But Bowser is slightly different. It's very interesting. So in the beginning of the movie, you've watched the first movie, Bowser was the bad guy. And so you're like, Bowser's the bad guy. And by the time you get halfway through the movie, you're like, actually, no, Bowser was the bad guy, and now he wants to be a good guy, and at times he's having a bit of a hard time with it. And at the beginning of the movie, you just think, oh, he's trying to trick him, right? But come the middle of the movie, you're like, oh man, this dude actually wants to be a good guy. What's going on? He's gonna help. He's gonna be good, right? And it's really unfortunate then, towards the end of the movie, his son turns him back into a bad guy. Okay, he's like, this is how you were always meant to be, and it's kind of like this don't defy your destiny kind of thing. And it's just, it's sad, because he could have been a cool good guy, okay? Or it's just cool. Look, I get it. Bowser's the bad guy in Nintendo. That's how he's set up. He always is, okay? It's just kind of a bummer that they built him as a good guy and then turned him back bad again, okay? If he's a bad guy, let him be bad the whole time or something. I don't know. It just felt sad to make him good and then bad, okay? I like to see my characters go from bad to good, okay? Not the opposite. So anyway, that's in there. It's just kind of I was kind of bummed about it. Anyway, that's everything that I saw in the Mario movie. So now you as the parent, you get to make the decision and decide, hey, is this good for my kids or not? Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button. That really helps it get out into the algorithm so that other people can find it on YouTube. Additionally, go ahead and get subscribed. I do reviews for all the new children's movies that are out in theaters. I just did Hoppers, Mando and Grogu. That's Star Wars' movies coming out this summer. Toy Story 5's coming out this summer. Narnia's coming out this fall, and there's a whole bunch. There's like at least one a month, it seems. So get subscribed for that. Additionally, I do Christian videos and parenting videos talking about how important it is to be mindful of what our kids are watching on TV and in movies, right? And just whatever else the Lord leads on my heart. Growing in the Lord, usually for the Christian videos. It's a big passion of mine. So anyway, if you like all that, you want to be notified of those videos, please go ahead and get subscribed. Additionally, down in the comments, you will find a link over to my website. Over there, you can support the channel if you wish, but the new thing over there is a list of 222 children's shows with LGBT content, okay? Yeah, there's really that many. This list is so that parents can go over there and make sure their kids aren't watching any of these shows, right? Because you do not want your kids watching any of these shows with that kind of content in it. So anyway, if you find that resource valuable to you, go ahead, hop over to my website, link down in the description, check that out, use that resource. I just put up a video going over why that's important. Maybe I'll link it here at the end. So you can go watch that too if you want to learn more about it. But thank you all so much for watching this video. I believe you have everything that you need to know to decide whether you're going to take your kids to see Mario or not, right? Thank you so much for watching, and y'all just have a blessed and wonderful Easter celebrating Jesus Christ.